Once upon a time, in a small village in India, there lived a man named Rajan. He was known throughout the village as the greatest miser anyone had ever seen. While his neighbors shared food during festivals and helped each other in times of need, Rajan counted every single coin he owned. He had boxes filled with coins hidden under his bed, in his walls, and buried in his garden. Rajan wore the same torn clothes for years. He ate the cheapest food he could find, often just stale bread and water. When his roof leaked during the monsoon, he placed buckets under the holes instead of fixing it. "Why waste money on repairs?" he would say. "The buckets work just fine." His neighbors felt sorry for him. "Rajan, what is the point of all your money if you live like a beggar?" asked his neighbor Kamala one day. Rajan just smiled and patted his money pouch. "You will all see. One day I will be the richest man in this village, and you will wish you had saved like me." Years passed, and Rajan's pile of money grew bigger and bigger. But his health grew worse. His back became bent from sleeping on a thin mat on the hard floor. His eyes grew weak from working by dim candlelight instead of buying proper lamps. His stomach hurt from eating poor food. Yet still, he refused to spend a single coin on himself. One day, a young wanderer named Rajan came to the village. He was bright-eyed and full of energy, though his clothes showed he was not wealthy. He carried only a small bag and a flute. Rajan was a learned man who knew many skills. He could read and write. He knew healing herbs. He could fix things. And he played beautiful music. Rajan rented a small room near Rajan's house. Every morning, Rajan would watch with disapproval as Rajan spent money on fresh milk, fruit, and good food. "Foolish boy," Rajan muttered, "wasting money on such luxuries." But Rajan also noticed something else. Rajan bought books and read them every evening. He purchased tools and learned carpentry. He bought clay and practiced making pots. He even paid an old teacher in the village to teach him about farming and business. "Why do you waste your money on all these things?" Rajan finally asked him one day. Rajan smiled warmly. "I am not wasting money, uncle. I am investing in myself. Every book makes me wiser. Every skill makes me more valuable. Every healthy meal gives me strength to learn and work. The best investment anyone can make is in themselves." Rajan laughed bitterly. "Foolish words! The best investment is saving money, keeping it safe, and watching it grow." "But uncle," Rajan said gently, "what good is money if you are too sick to enjoy it? What good is wealth if you have no skills to protect it or grow it? What good are coins if you have no knowledge to use them wisely?" Rajan waved him away angrily and returned to counting his money. Months passed. Rajan's investments in himself began to show results. Because he had learned to read and write well, the village headman hired him to keep records. Because he had learned carpentry, people paid him to fix their furniture. Because he understood herbs, villagers came to him when they were sick. Because he could play the flute beautifully, he was invited to every celebration, where he made friends and connections. Rajan saved some of his earnings, but he also continued spending on his growth. He bought better tools, more books, and took trips to the nearby town to learn from masters there. With each investment in himself, his value grew, and so did his income. Meanwhile, Rajan's health continued to fail. One day, he became very sick with a high fever. He lay in his dark, damp house, shivering. The village doctor came and said, "Rajan, you need proper medicine, nutritious food, and you must fix this house. The dampness is making you sicker. How much will all that cost?" Rajan whispered weakly, "About 500 coins, the doctor replied. 500 coins. Rajan cried out, though it pained him. "Never! I will get better on my own." But he did not get better. He grew weaker and weaker. Finally, after 3 weeks of suffering, he had no choice but to spend the money, not 500 coins, but 1,000, because waiting had made his sickness worse. As Rajan slowly recovered, he had much time to think. He watched from his window as Rajan walked by each day, healthy, happy, learning, growing, and earning respect and money through his many skills. One evening, Arjun visited Rajan with some healing soup. "Uncle, I heard you were unwell. I made this for you." Tears filled Rajan's eyes. This young man whom he had mocked was showing him kindness. "Arjun," he said quietly, "I have been a fool." "No, uncle. You are not a fool. You just forgot something important." "What is that?" "You forgot that you are your greatest asset. Money comes and goes, but skills, knowledge, and health, these things stay with you. They help you earn more money, protect what you have, and enjoy your life. I have spent money on myself, yes, but look, I am healthy, I have many skills, I earn well, and I am happy. You saved every coin, but you became sick, you have no skills to fall back on, and you spent so much on your illness." Rajan closed his eyes. The truth hurt, but it was the truth he needed to hear. "Is it too late for me?" he asked. "It is never too late." Arjun smiled. "You have money saved. Now use some of it wisely, on your health, on learning something new, on making your life better." From that day forward, Rajan changed. He fixed his house properly, making it warm and dry. He bought nutritious food that helped him regain his strength. He purchased glasses so his eyes would not strain. He even asked Arjun to teach him to read and write, something he had never learned. As Rajan invested in himself, something magical happened. His health improved, and with it, his spirit lifted. He learned to read and discovered the joy of stories and knowledge. He learned basic carpentry and fixed things around the village for a small fee, making friends along the way. His money, which had sat idle for years, began to work for him as he used it to create a better life. Within a year, Rajan was a different man. He still saved money, but now he understood balance. He learned that being rich meant nothing if you were too sick, too ignorant, or too lonely to enjoy it. One day, Rajan stood with Arjun, watching the sunset. "Thank you," he said softly. "You taught me the most valuable lesson: the best investment is not in boxes buried in the ground. It is in ourselves, our health, our mind, our skills, and our spirit." Arjun put his hand on Rajan's shoulder. "And now, uncle, you are truly wealthy." Rajan smiled, and for the first time in decades, it was a smile of genuine happiness. He had finally learned that to invest in yourself is to invest in your future, your joy and your peace. And that, indeed, is the greatest treasure of all.